Hey folks, Evil DM here. Got another episode of Papers and Parsecs here. This week we're going to be talking about something that was requested in the last video. We're going to talk about skill points and improving your character. This skill points was later on renamed to character points in 2nd edition going forward because you could do more things with it. There's a lot of gaps in 1E that don't allow you to do certain things, and skill points only applies to you for skill points, only for the skills that you have. It doesn't allow you to do anything else with it. But we'll talk about that in another video. But right now we're going to focus on skill points and what it can do for you. So skill points, at the end of the adventure, the GM will distribute no more than 10 points, but no less than 3 points of skill points. Now these skill points you could save up or you can use right away, and they're used to improve your skill codes or your skill underneath your attribute. So if you have a blaster of 5, you'll need certain amount of skill points to move it up, and we'll talk about that in a second. But first of all, awarding those points, you have to consider a couple things, and the book goes over just a couple minor things here, like how well did the characters do overall in the adventure, if they actually did something well during it or figured something out or thought of something that you never did. You can award a point for that, and you can award another point for them figuring something out. How well did each player play themselves, their character? Did they stay in character? Did they stay to the Jedi code? If they were a bounty hunter, did they stick to the bounty hunter code of ethics? Things like that. You give a point for that. Did they cooperate together as a group, or did they bicker? Bickering obviously doesn't, depending on your group, some groups like to argue and debate and stuff like that, and it's all fun in nature, but then sometimes there's just, plain old bickering and nothing gets done. So the book does penalize you for doing that. You have to repeatedly ask questions and constantly make judgments and things like that. It's telling you you shouldn't be giving points for that. Whether you are amused, did they are amused, did you have fun, how long the adventure was, did everybody act a certain way? These are things you can do. You basically have 3 to 10 points to give out. And you could decide in that what you really want to do as far as giving points out. Now on page 99, it talks a little bit more about giving out skill points. 3 to 10 points, and it discusses, actually we just went over that, in addition, any potential rewards. Like sometimes you also will give them money, you'll give them parts for, say, a spaceship they're trying to fix. Also, you may want to give them information. Maybe one of the characters is a Jedi looking for a Jedi Master, so they can, or a Force-attuned person, to maybe increase their Force abilities. Because obviously if you want to increase any of your skills, you got to find masters for these things. So there's that. Now let's get on to exactly here. And you can also give out skill points for like MVP of the night. The group can sit around and vote. Like, all right, everybody, silent ballot, write on a piece of paper who did the best tonight, or, who had the most entertaining role of the game tonight, and you can roll right on a piece of paper, and then the person wins. You can also do who had the laugh out loud moment, little things like that, laugh out loud moment. Who did the most damage moment of the night? Who did the most action point of the night? Things like that. Who played in character but didn't play in character? Things like that. Who played the most out of character? Yeah, strange award, but you could give an award for that. Really, whatever you want, as long as it's within the 3 to 10 point range. Now, as you get more skill points and you using them to increase your character, which we'll go over in a moment, I just want to make a note that these amount of points never increase. As far as the better you get as a character, you don't get more points for each adventure. You're still going to get 3 to 10. It's supposed to balance out the whole. The more your character increases, the harder it is to make improvements, because it takes more effort to increase the skill higher, as opposed to just increasing it willy-nilly and, hey, leveled up, blah, blah, blah. So, skill points, how do we do it? Let's say, so the easiest way I can explain this is, for every skill point you can use it, you can add to increasing a pool of some die. So, for example, say you have 2D in Blaster, and you want to make that Blaster go up. So you'll need 2 skill points to raise up that one by +1, because every time you increase a skill point, it goes up by a pip only, until you finally hit that +3, which actually turns into another die. So if I wanted to go to +2 to increase that, I add 2 points, I get a +1. If I want to do +2, I add 2 points, that becomes a +2. And if I want to go to the next die, I'm going to add another 2 points and it becomes a 3. But according to the book rules, you cannot advance more than 1 pip per adventure session or in between sessions. Of course, that could be waived, but it's really up to you. There's a GM what you want to do. So they have a couple examples here. It'll cost a certain amount of points. Basically, how I've explained, if you have 5 in a certain skill and you want to move up to the next +5 +1, you got to spend 5 character points. +2, 5 character points. Make it a 6, 5 character points. So in total, you're doing 15 points right there to go take that one skill. And you could do this for as many skills as you have character points, but you just can't do more than +1 pip at one time, unless, of course, the GM decides he doesn't care and does whatever he wants to do. That's how you increase skill points. Now, the book does not say whatsoever what do you do about improving attributes. It's not in any of the books. I have not found it, at least. I've scoured through the 1E core book, the rules companion, the source book, the 1.1 rules upgrade, the 1.5 rules upgrade. I don't see anything in it. The closest thing that I find to attribute increases is going into the 2nd edition Blue Vader book on page 14. And you don't have to use this if you don't want to, but your GA may want to incorporate this rule. It's not that hard to incorporate rules from the 2nd edition backwards into 1E. You just have to be careful you're not overpowering things. But any of the 6 attributes may be improved by spending character points. This is what I was telling you. They used to be called skill points, but now they're called character points. So you just substitute the word character for skill for 1st edition by spending skill points. The cost to improve an attribute is a number before the die times 10. For example, if a character's dexterity is 3D plus 2, the player would want to improve to 4D, it would cost them 30 character points. Same way you would do it before, except now you're adding a times 10 to it. Yeah, that's a lot of points to do to increase to a +1 or a +2 and to get to a 4 from a 3. But the Star Wars game sees it as these stats are really not, or these attributes are not really ones that are going to be increased that easily and over time. It's going to be something that's going to take a really long time to improve. And also, if you're going by these rules, you have to go by the training time as well. And generally, most people don't go by this. I don't know too many people that have, but there are some that do that enjoy these rules. Like the GM rolls and you roll. If you roll under the GM's roll, then you do increase the stat by whatever you're spending there to do that. So he rolls a 3D, you roll a 3D, you get lower than him, boom, you're good as gold, and you move up to the next pip by 1. If not, the points are still spent and they're kept in the little pool for going up. You make a little note on your sheet, and then after the next adventure, you could try again to do that. And there's a whole thing involving teachers, but a lot of people don't use that as well. Teachers will improve the time frame to do increasing attributes, but that's getting more into 2nd edition, and we're not getting into that. I just wanted to give you the idea. You can read it on page 14 and get involved with that as much as you want. Take whatever you want, because that's the good thing about these systems. You can take and pull things out and use them however you wish for whichever edition. It's just a little bit harder to take things from 1E sometimes to move them into the later editions, and sometimes revised and expanded is harder to bring back to 1E as well. But you just have to look at it, eyeball it, and try to find something that's similar to it and move forward from there. If you have any questions, hit me up right here at the channel. Leave a comment below. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't, and hit the bell notification to get all my new videos as they come out. So keep it original, keep it old school, and good night, everybody.